Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and I could have tacked this onto the same video that I had earlier, which was the visit to the Barbican Conservatory for the first time, as it's the same day, but I decided this merited a separate video because I've actually come for the first time ever to the Chelsea Physic garden, because I know they've got a few unusual bits and pieces here surviving outside. Now, among those here is a citrus aurantium, which is, I believe, a bitter orange or Seville orange, or a variety of it. Now, this is obviously meant to be an extremely sheltered garden, but surprisingly enough, there's an oleander there that's taken quite a lot of cold damage, which surprises me because most of the other oleanders in central London have had no damage at all. So it just goes to show that it can be quite cold even in some of these very sheltered gardens, and this is obviously in Chelsea in London, but there's certainly supposed to be some very interesting plants, and I believe there's an avocado, but I'm not sure. A particular interest to me here is this citrus, which has actually got, if I can get a bit closer, this is actually a grapefruit and has got full-sized ripe grapefruit on it, incredibly. Definitely an edible size. Let me just put my coffee down a second that I picked up, and look at that there. Much bigger than anything I've achieved on mine, and that is outdoors in central London in the UK. We've actually got a grapefruit. What a fabulous thing to see, which just shows what you can do. And this plant seems to show almost no damage, and there are actually a few smaller grapefruits on it, so very interesting to see. Now if we carry on, I'll try and go through this way. There are a few gems around in this garden in various places, if you know what you're looking for. So if I just carry on over here, something's caught my eye from the distance. Well, a couple of things have caught my eye actually. Firstly, there's a Musa Baju here, which has not been protected or wrapped at all as far as I can see. Still got new green shoots starting to come out, so that's done very well. And even more interesting, exciting here is a pomegranate tree, which is obviously heavily fruited last year. Doesn't look as if they picked any of the fruits at any time. And the fruits are not as big as the ones that you would normally get in the shops here. They're probably about 2.5 to 3 inches, the fruits. But fascinating to see that they can crop if you're in the right sheltered area in the centre of London. Let me carry on the walk. As I said, I've never been to the Chelsea Physic garden before, so it's very exciting because it's nice to see some plants that I'm not seeing. Here's a date palm, I believe. Canary, yeah, I think it's a canary date palm. Phoenix canariensis, I believe. Canarina canariensis, Canary Islands palm. Looking very, Phoenix canariensis, I should say. Fascinating to see. I'm sure there'll be some very interesting plants here, but I haven't really got time because I've come late in the day, because as I said, I've been to the Barbican, to the conservatory today, and I've walked along the Thames and been to Borough Market, but I thought I'd take the opportunity as I was walking towards Chelsea to whiz in here and just see what there is to see here, to see if there's anything very unusual. I said I have heard there's an avocado tree here, but I'm not sure if that is the case. There's a strawberry tree. I'm not sure if that's the case or if it's still alive or even here, but I'm very short on camera, not camera memory, but camera battery today on my phone, so I'm going to pause the video here at the strawberry tree, and if I see anything else of interest, I'll carry on with the video. Oh, that's caught my eye, this fantastic bark on this tree here. And to my surprise, when I got closer, I saw that it's a Luma apiculata, which I've actually got in my garden. So that somewhat surprised me, because I didn't realise the bark ended up looking like this when the trees got to this sort of size. It's quite heavily defoliated, so I don't think it's in the best of health, but certainly the bark's very, very impressive. I think my one looks healthier in terms of the leaves, but obviously mine's only a young plant, hasn't got bark like this. So that's a Luma apiculata, which is an evergreen plant from Chile. I used to have one of these in my last garden. This is called a Coletia. Look at these spines on here. The leaves are actually formed in the shape of spines, and they have a little white flower on them, but only an ornamental plant, no use for food or anything. And of course somewhat spiteful if you've got children in your garden, probably not ideal. This I think is another type of Coletia. Yeah, Coletia hystrix, this one. Again, they're very spiny evergreen shrubs. Anyway, I'll pause the video and carry on. Well, that was an interesting walk around, and here we are. This is what we were looking for. This is the avocado tree. Now, this, as you can, starting to put out new growth buds, which looks like they're flowers. Now, contrary to the other one in London, over on the other side, protected by all those buildings, you can actually see that this avocado has taken quite a lot of frost damage. Not enough to cause it serious harm, but I can see that the whole tree has these has burnt leaves from the cold. I mean, fortunately it's not going to be a problem. I can't see any fruits of any sort on this tree. This may not be a self-fertile fruiting one. The one in South London near the Thames is quite unusual in that it sets fruits, and not all avocados are self-fertile. That's not to say this one isn't, but I can't see any signs of any fruits or having had fruits on it, or any on the floor. But you can see there's quite a lot of frost damage to it, but nevertheless it's putting out new growth buds now, so it's made it through an extremely harsh winter. This is a very sheltered area, but I don't think the microclimate here is quite the same as where that large avocado is, and in fact even underneath the canopy of the tree you can see a substantial amount of cold damage. So the citrus here have probably fared better than the avocado, but nevertheless still looks in reasonably good health and obviously fully recover. As I said, you can see those are not just plain growth buds. I'm sure they're going to be flower buds, so there will be flowers on this probably in about, I presume, 6 to 8 weeks time, which would be interesting to see. Maybe I'll come back and see the flowers. So I thought that would interest people. As I said, I've never been to the Chelsea Physic garden before. It's obviously popular with local residents. There's a few rarities in here among the fairly normal plants. So nice to see the various sorts of plants here. They have these little, you can have a cactus greenhouse here as well. Cactus and succulents. And some insectivorous plants as well for people who are interested in these. It's not quite as substantial as what we've got at Kew Gardens, but still nice to see a few unusual delights around. Got some decent sized plants here. That's an evergreen Magnolia grandiflora. No problems with the cold for those. So all in all, a very pleasant visit, nice place to see. certainly worth popping in here. Not free entry on this one, it was £14.50. I've only come for an hour, but well worth a visit if you're in the area and don't mind spending a little bit of money. And they do have some nice greenhouses, but they're currently closed at the moment. They're all being refurbished, so they'll be viable to see those at some time in the future when they're finished restoring them. Anyway, thanks for watching that video. That was the Chelsea Physic garden for anyone interested, separate to my Barbican visit. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next video. Brett out for now.